All right, on chapter 4, we are going to, we'll turn off all these pages really quick. So starting with chapter 4, exercise problem number 1. We are looking at absolute values. So absolute values kind of equate to finding a positive value of whatever's inside of the absolute value symbol. So if it's negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it stays positive. So in this case, our answer is 137. We drop the negative sign. For number 2, it's 43, and it stays positive, so we keep the value of 43. For number 3, we're going to take 12 minus 18, which will give us a negative 6 inside the absolute values. When we equate that, that will become a positive 6 for our value. For number 4, they want us to arrange the values from least to greatest, so most negative to most positive. So we can start with our most negative of negative 11, then we have a negative 7, then we have a negative 4, then we have, this becomes a positive 6, so we have negative 6 absolute value, then our 9, and then our 12 for our order with that one. For number 5, we're going to take the absolute value of negative 5, which becomes 5, plus a negative 9, which we can equate to 5 minus 9, which would be a negative 4. For number 6, when we have 2 negative signs in a row, so minus a negative, that becomes a positive, or 12 plus 8, and our value is going to be 20 for that. Okay, we'll turn the page. All right, with our negative values on our calculator, we can, by hand, we could multiply it and get negative 28, or on the calculator, turn it on, clear everything, we could do negative 4 times 7 and get our negative 28. For this value, 28 divided by negative 4, we could write it as 28 over negative 4. We're going to get ourselves a value of negative 7 with that. On a calculator, we could do 28 divided by, you're welcome to put the parentheses, negative 4, and you get negative 7. It also works without the parentheses. Okay, on this operation, we're going to do it in steps. We're going to take 15 minus 32. And so we get absolute value of negative 17. That's absolute value symbols, minus 16. The negative 17 in the absolute value becomes a positive 17 minus 16, and we get 1 for our value here. For number 10, we can take negative 17 minus 23, and we'll get a negative 40. For number 11, we can take a negative 152 divided by a negative 8. Notice a negative divided by negative is going to give us a positive value. We can negative 152 divided by negative 8, and we get a positive 19. Number 12, we can take negative 53 plus 82 minus parenthesis negative 19, close our parenthesis, and we'll get a total value of 48. Okay. On this one, we're going to take negative 14 plus a negative 4 minus 15, and we'll get a grand total of negative 33. Number 14, it tells us that we have a voltage in this field of this value and at another point, and they want us to find the potential difference by subtracting the second voltage from the first. So we're going to take the negative 975 volts and we're going to subtract that value from the first. So 1575 minus that. And that's going to show our overall voltage. Visually, you can say, hey, we're up here at that high voltage. This is at 0, and then this is where the second voltage is. How far did we go to get all the way down here? And so it's going to be a larger number than the first. And that indicates by the two negative signs in a row. So if we have 1575 minus parenthesis negative 975, we get a grand total of 2,550 volts for the overall change. Number 15 tells us we have a inductive circuit and they want us to use reactance, so the XL, and that's positive, and the capacitance reactance XC as negative. So they tell us that we have a capacitive reactance of 37. We'll write that as a negative 37 ohms. Number 16. Herman, he's a bookkeeper, and he writes expenses with negative numbers and receipts with positive numbers. So if he is purchasing, that's an expense, a 13 watt, 120 watt spiral CFL light bulb, $9 each. He is buying 8 of those, so 8. We'll do 8 times a negative $9. You can do 8 times a negative 9. We get negative $72 for the cost. Herman again, same story. He sold this one for his company, so that's a positive, and 3 of them at this cost. So that's a 3 times $52 each. 3 times 52, we get 156 for his total. For 18, same story with the expenses as negatives, receipts as positive. So he is purchasing, which expense, which means it's negative 12 at the cost of $13. And we get a negative 156. Okay, number 19, we've got profits and losses. We want to find the overall profit or loss for the 3 months. So we are going to add these integers together. So we get 156,837 plus a negative 78932 plus a negative 41359, and we get our grand total to be $35,546. Okay, was the total profit or loss? What was it? So in this case, it's a positive value. Number 20, using those same numbers, was it an overall profit or loss? Well, because it was positive, so we say it's profit. And our last question, number 21, same numbers, what was the average profit or loss? So we are going to take the $35,546 We're going to divide it by the 3 months. So we'll divide it by 3. And our average profit or loss is 12182. So 12,000 there.